Good Wednesday, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great day. So today, I want to talk to you about a situation that we've had going on in Birmingham. I want to talk about a little bit of coverages here on our personal page today. We don't do this very often, but I think this is pretty important that we used to see this a lot on the homeowners insurance side, and we're seeing it a lot on the flood side. So you go to buy a house, you close on the house, and you give the old owners a couple days to get out. You're trying to be nice, right? Well, we actually had a situation happen last night in Birmingham where a flood occurred, and a house was flooded before the owner could move in. Well, the problem was that the old owners had already canceled their flood policy, and their personal belongings were destroyed by a flood. So where's the coverage here? Well, unfortunately, in this situation, more than likely, the building owner is not going to have any coverage at all because they didn't have a flood policy for their personal belongings anymore. So what they should have had was a tenant's policy, at least for a few days, until they moved out of this flood risk property. Because what happens is the contents is only going to be covered by the actual building owner. So the building owner had coverage on the building, had coverage on his personal contents. The problem is his contents are not in the house yet. It's the old owners who doesn't have flood insurance anymore. So if you're going to do this situation when you buy a house, you're selling out of a house, you want to do two things. You want to set up a building only policy if you're not going to have any tenants in there. And number two is, if you're the tenant, you want to make sure that you have a contents only policy that covers your contents. Because it's really important to understand that this could be two different claims, especially when you've got a building owner who owns the building and you've got we'll call it a renter that owns the tenants, that owns the contents coverage. So this is really important to understand because we're seeing a lot of people, especially in the Birmingham, Alabama area, be impacted by this. Now that we've had 4 to 6 major flood events in the last 2 years. And we're going to start to see a lot of changes in the Birmingham market when it comes to flood. You're probably going to start to see a lot of private flood insurance non-renewals because the data is telling them about some of the risk. You may even start to see a lot of changes with the new risk rating 2.0 because of the type of flooding, flooding frequency as we've talked about now, where they can do a 20-year look back. And if properties have previous claims and they add this one now, maybe the rate skyrockets, who knows? But what we wanted to talk about today, so remember, if you've got questions, in the comments, visit our Learning Center. I'll put the link in there. It's real easy. It's floodinsuranceguru.com/Learning Center. If you want to know what your flood risk is. And by the way, the flood risk on this property was a 75, and they thought the property would never flood. We'll put that in the comments for you as well, because we want to make sure that you understand your flood risk. Remember, we simplify flood insurance and understanding flood risk through education. Thank you.